Alright folks, how y'all is? Today we're gonna make some sirloin steaks here. These are tip steaks. I got this here RL Schreiber. It's kind of like a Montreal steak season. You can kind of see there. And I put a little Worcestershire sauce on there, but I'll get a little of this out of here so I can show you. You see, it's kind of like a Montreal steak seasoning. And I'm gonna show y'all how to make some green bean almondine. These green beans look so good. He was putting them out when we were there. This is from Sprouts Market. If you don't have a Sprouts, it's kind of like a little higher end grocery store. They focus on fresh produce, organics, stuff like that. So it's a little more expensive, but you can see the difference. Look at that. When was the last time you went to Kroger and saw green beans looking that fantastic? You don't. So we're gonna do some green bean almondine. So I got some sliced almonds. What I like about Sprouts, they have a lot of bulk at them. So this was like, you know, like 38 cents or whatever for some almonds. Just enough to do this dish. That way you don't buy $5 worth of almonds and let them get stale in your cupboard, you know. So things like a little bit of garlic for that. So we're gonna focus on these tonight. It'll be our main thing I'm gonna show you how to make, and we'll have some steak, and I got some Yukon Golds. Let's get started. So there we go, folks. Them green beans are absolutely gorgeous. Nice bright green. Now what I'm doing here is I'm adding some salt to this here stock pot, and we're gonna blanch these off here. Now if you want to keep these things super bright green, you can add MSG, which I don't even have any MSG because I don't like cooking with it. But if you ever go to the store and you see that stuff called Accent, that's just straight up MSG. You put a little of that in your water, and then when these cook, they just turn super bright green. The salt will have the same effect. It'll keep them nice and green as long as you don't over blanch them. One other thing you can do if you're blanching your green beans, you want to keep them nice and dark green, put a little bit of baking soda off in there. That'll keep them nice and green as well. Don't put too much. It will give you the runs if you put too much baking soda. Alright, so water's starting to just get to a simmer. We're going to go ahead and drop these green beans in. So I got these raw sliced almonds up here. So what I like to do is toast them up a little bit. You can either do it in the oven or actually do it right here in the skillet before you add all your other components with no oil or anything. Just let them kind of get the radiant heat from below. Give them a few shakes and they'll toast up just like you stuck them in the oven. So what we're looking for here, we're looking for a green bean to get nice and kind of soft, but not turn like army green. Want it to still be nice and bright green. So it takes about, on a pretty good boil like this, about 4 or 5 minutes to get to that point. You see how it's still rigid and stiff. You want it to be just a little long, where it kind of just curves down by being soft enough where it kind of gets limp. Almost there. So once that happens, we're going to cut them off, and then we're going to saute them right over here. Look how beautifully green that blanching makes. All that chlorophyll come out of there. Beautiful. Alright, so them green beans there are absolutely gorgeous. A nice dark green. Look absolutely beautiful. Toast up our almonds. So let's go to the next step here. So our next step here is adding some EVOO here. Organic. There we go. We got a spoonful of minced garlic. Now a lot of people like using fresh garlic, which I do too, but when you're cooking at home or you're cooking commercially or whatever, this stuff ain't too bad, and it's so quick you don't have to sit there and mince and peel garlic and all, so it's not so bad. That's the spice world. Not make you confused with a Spice Girl. Yeah, smelling delicious. Smelling olive oil and garlic. Just want to toast that garlic up just a little bit. Take about 30-45 seconds, then we throw our green beans in. About 45 seconds into that, we threw them beautiful green beans. The camera's not going to do it justice. It's going to show them lighted. They are so beautifully dark green. It's hard to even show you on camera the actual color. Beautiful. Alright, so we just fresh ground some pepper over there. A little bit of salt. Toss these around. I'll show you the last step. I'm using coarse kosher salt here, actually coarse sea salt. Takes a little more than what you think because all these greens don't have a lot of salt, even though we salted the water. They didn't cook in there real long, so there you go. Put just a little more salt than what you would think you need. Believe me, I made green bean almondine probably more than any other side dish in my career. It's just one of those things that goes so well, especially with fall recipes, fall time, or if you're doing fish or something like that. It's just a really good recipe that's very universal. I mean, look at how gorgeous that is. Now, there's one more thing you can do, and you don't have to do this, but I like to mount it with just a little bit of butter, so we're going to do that. Tablespoon of butter. Now, you can totally skip that part if you want to. It just richens it up a little bit, but with the olive oil and all, you're still fine without even putting that butter in there. All right, folks, I just tried one of these. These are so delicious. Absolutely perfectly cooked. Just the slightest bit of crunch left. I mean, it's just absolutely the perfect al dente cooking on them. There's a beautiful rare seared steak out there on the gas grill. Sirloin. Now, sometimes I like cooking on steaks very, very rare. And I like to season them differently every time. So since we went with like a Montreal style steak seasoning, so I do this one very, very rare. This is what you would call blue, where it still looks blue. It's just kissed for a minute on each side, and that's it. I know a lot of you will not like this style. I love this style. Mrs. Chef loves this style, but we don't eat like this all the time. Most of the time we do them about medium rare, something like that.